Alright, alright. One more. One more for the day. Oh, my coffee is hot. Cannot drink it yet. Everybody's drafting OTJ or what? There we go. Ooh, that card is so strong. But then we're passing 2 blue cards. I mean, we definitely take one of these 3 cards. This guy's insane upside if you're in blue-red. Well, OTJ is a more random format. What's better or not, it's pretty subjective though. What you like more, that's usually better. I'm gonna take the Emissary. It has a little bit of a sweet spot in my heart, the card, but could just see taking one of these. They leave you more flexible. Like especially like Count is just so good. Well, we're not gonna force anything. I'm just gonna take it because it has insane upside. And then we see, well, I like that card as well. If you build your deck cheap to survive, it's a tutor for 2 card. It feels like that at least. There's a Boros land, which I'm pretty high on because I always end up in Boros. Yeah, Beckoner is, I think, maybe the best black common in my books. How people build decks, it just doesn't perform that well in those like expensive decks because you don't have time to spend 4 mana for 2 cards, but when you have time and this is your last card cast, it's so good. Cool. I really like this in a deck like that, but I think Blast is kind of generically better card. Well, Harrier maybe fits a role that we cannot replace with Emissary because you can multi-spell with artifacts. But the issue is like, what if we're not gonna end up in red? Then I'd rather have that. I think this is the better card in blue-red. If we want to stay open, but those are not high upside cards. This card is really good. A 2-mana bounce spell is already a playable card in limited. Because bounces are getting better with tempo being more important. But let's add something extra. If we were guaranteed blue-red, yeah, the 2-1 was better. I like this more because I think I only want one Gorgonzola in any deck. But you kind of want one, but the second one gets really bad. While this you can play in multiples. If you have sack synergy. Even though, like, I like to just diversify these. Like, Mock Sight, one of that, one of this, one of Scrappers. I prefer a Bolt over Propulsion. But I don't want too many bolts. It's just that you survive longer to do your Stirply stuff if you play a 1-mana spell. But we will still need to get like a big removal. This is good. Torpedo is just great when you have Artifact Matter stuff. Just to trigger your stuff. Pangolin, nice. Pangolin is insane in blue-red. One of the best commons in this archetype. Don't like these cards. Could take this for the splash or 1 dragon for top end potentially, but hoping not to play it. Okay, we didn't get the relics or anything, but that's expected. Okay, we'll take that. Now this is... Wait, well, that's close, because this card is also insane. In my opinion, Psionis is the best non-rare in the format. But it's so easy to just have that and then kind of play into that plan. I do always get it, the Banishing Light, so this card has a real downside if opponent has a Banishing Light. But yeah, I'm gonna take it. You're good. I don't know, I mean, I just like Izzet in general, but I didn't even know it has a bad-win ratio. I'm doing pretty well with Izzet. This works in this deck. Trigger stuff twice. I just haven't had success with splashing in this format for niche cards, and that card is good, but it's really, really good, but it's also like the strength comes of having it early sometimes and just kind of pushing the damage through. Okay, plunge, luckily, because like this feels bad passing all the good black cards. Like I like this card decent amount. And this is obviously really good, but plunge is not like plunge is arguably better than feeder because it's such an important piece. Is just a weird mid-range kind of control deck that relies on artifact synergy. We really want more. Well, we got removal. We have three removals and a blast. Okay, taking block here. Block is pretty important. Have a scrapper, we have double spelling, we have all the cheap. Like, you kind of want like an affinity type of. Well, obviously, you're not going to get as efficient of a deck as an affinity, but you want to go really, really cheap. And is it like you want to go dirt cheap, basically, but not be. You're not an aggro deck. You're more of a. I don't know what you are, a mid range deck. I'm going to take Plunge over Land Seeker. Actually, I think this has a huge liability of having to use it next turn. Well, Plunge is so much more flexible. Yeah, but it's not really tempo because you're also losing tempo, cracking all the blocks. It's like a Tinker deck. It's weird. It's like synergistic, like artifact ETB type of deck. But it's not really a tempo deck because you're not just curving out and attacking and removing the blockers. You're also doing tempo negative stuff. I usually don't care about the whale, but I also don't think I want the second Mechon. I'll still take the whale. Just in case. And these cards are whatever. Even though one Rick is sometimes fine, but you have to be a little bit more aggressive than this. Overwrite with maybe get an artifact. Sack it. Okay, we have one more pack. I'll take the first relic. I also don't think you need too many relics. Like, one is fine in AZ, but first one is really, really good. This card is so good. Even better than relic in my opinion, but not in colors. And I think Bolt is a huge what? I mean, I'm taking the other one. We're going all in. So Vocalist is also insane. It kind of means, well, it doesn't work with that. Actually, Vocalist is okay in this deck. It's not completely busted. So I would actually probably take a beam over Vocalist here. Also want this Mechon. That might wheel. Like, either block or Mechon would be great. No, that is crazy. We have two emissaries. We just need to make sure we're cheap enough now, because this is already, like, it's a liability, but I want to have that plan of Hive Pool. Because everything else looks great, and then this on the top is awesome. Sometimes I like Sweeper. I'm not sure which one I like more here. I'm gonna go Shieldmate. It's a little bit dangerous. Well, I guess I could have had... What did I want to say? I could have had that for the Torpedo. Maybe I needed the ship there. I don't think we're playing the Endstone. It's too risky to play it in this deck. And I actively want to play one Gorgonzola. Wow, Trooper pick 5. Do we want that? I mean, do we want the other Trooper? I think I like Sweeper because it makes Torpedo way better. Trooper just doesn't fit this deck that well. And I think I want Torpedo because it just triggers everything. Like, it's a double spell triggers and a big removal for late game. Maybe we at one point just cut these operatives and just play Pangolins, because they're not always better, but they are more efficient. The toughness grows quicker and they synergize better. And then the Mechon is also kind of good because it triggers these twice, Oh, nice. First Mechon. I don't want more than one, but I think first one is sort of premium once you have few of these. They do get clunky in multiples in my experience. I'd rather have more relics than Mechons. Ooh. What? This is actually crazy good value card in our deck. It finds the Hive Pool. Okay, this deck is busted. Maybe if we need a defensive creature. And for the same reason, like, block now gets better than Mechon. Even though we have a lot to sack, but it feels like if Emissary sticks, we're just gonna cook. We don't need, like, more value. Don't need second Torpedo. Don't need that guy, but I can just take it. I don't like this counter spell. It's too in the way of our proactive plan. Yeah, we got a constructed deck. Could play 16 with all the cantrips. Besides the Hive Pool, nothing is expensive. Hive Pool, again, doesn't fit, but why not have it, right? Like, why not have it as a top end if everything else is cheap and we can fetch it? It's funny, it's better in our deck and just getting this to have a selection. The thing is, the deck is so strong that this is actually a liability in a sense that it's weak versus banishing lights and artifact removals. But yeah, it can win alone. But again, still playing it can be crafty, how to play it and when to play it. Operative will be big in this deck. And it has some advantages over Pangolin because you don't need to pay the mana, but Pangolin is another artifact, so we're definitely not cutting these. And I don't think I want to cut a 2-drop here because it's a little bit risky. Might even want to add a 2-drop. So for me is... Okay, so inefficient cards. Relic, blocks. These are actually inefficient until we have synergy and that. So we have quite some inefficient cards. Have to be careful. That's also not that efficient, but it at least trades for like a bigger creature. Can trade for equal value. Yeah, it's a little bit sketch. Maybe I need to replace this mechan even if I kinda want it for additional value. And add a cheaper card just to not fall behind. And then one more cut. I think Torpedo is too good in a deck like that. Because you kinda gives you this like tutor for like anything late, even if it's expensive. But it also triggers everything. I just kinda am playing Torpedo always in every deck. It feels like I always find an excuse to play it. It's my thing. You could play 16 because we're cantripping a lot. Okay. Let's roll. Okay, so I'm waiting with that. We're waiting with everything. Maybe I gave them more info now. Okay, Pango first. Then we can just spam tokens probably better than pumping it. Now we want to pump it one time. I can go this for one pump, but then it's only one token. I can go... The thing is the 1/1s are so good versus that. Maybe we just ignore the Pango for now. This is impossible to figure out what's the best efficiency here. I'll just spam 1/1s. In case we don't get lands, we really want to get lands. And even if we miss an attack, that's fine. But these match so well versus the 1/1 either way. And then we have like this crack plus a bolt, or if we get a land, we can go that plus that. And then they need to answer that. Okay. Well, pretty awkward versus the bolt. Timeless draw. I can double block if I want to execute value here. Okay, now we just need to get there, so we need all the lands on the planet. If I go here, I'll lose that. I'll do that still. I think we have enough stuff to do. Okay, they were scared there. I'm double blocking if they attack. Okay, that still gets a card. Well, can sack it there, I guess. I'll do that. I don't want to take too much damage if they go for removal. Because we're tapping out, and this card is really good versus these colors because they cannot remove it that easily. Yikes. Now I wish I had it. Oh, they go there. Okay, okay, that's good. Now I wish I had it here, but they didn't go here. Just surprising, but yeah. Okay, makes sense if they have that. Pretty annoying though. That's why this is a little bit weird, because these want to be aggressive to get more value. Because they don't block well, and then we have a card that we tap down for. Yikes. Might lose this. Yeah, I don't know how we come back. Okay, okay. But I'm 1 mana short to deal with both. This would give me a 1/1 to block. Can go to 1, deal with the feather, chump. Good. Chump and we go to 1. Yeah. Man. Doesn't play out the great as this deck. Even though like we had stuff, but again, this hive pool is a big liability. Maybe I needed to cut the hive pool because then we don't need to rely on that plan. Okay. If you go these two, you get 1 token. Bro, everybody's just cheaper than we are. If I would go into these to get a token, this would go to 3, but it's better than to grow that to 3. I mean, like, getting a land is the best here. Do I want to be in position where I crack a land or even? Probably not, because they can do it as well. And they do it first. Now we're in this situation again where best is Pangolin if we ignore emissaries. But I could just play that out. That was another. I think next turn I want to play it out if I get a land. Yeah, this deck has some issues. Like he does too many. It's good if you're ahead, then these can attack. Then it's fine. But if you have to block, these 1/1s are pretty irrelevant. Okay, but opponent goes for value, which I think favors us rather than adding higher stats to the board. This is so taxing. Crazy. Could make a 1/1, pump 1, but I could just go that, pump, attack both. You just never will cast it out. This one? Kinda wanna do it. I know they can ram, but this stops are 1/1s. We don't really have time to crack the lander. We have too many things to do, but I think it's important to get rid of the Reacher because they're really low. And these 1/1s need to transfer into damage. It's big. I'll just crack that. Man, that transfers that's so bad. Because if it was one bigger. Yeah, okay. We need more red mana in the deck, right? And they're on 11. I can go here, pump it up to... I mean, I can also just deal with it. Or I could just... I think it's better to do that. Now we kinda have too much mana all of a sudden. We need an artifact, basically, to spam the board with tokens. Sammy? But they tap down this turn, so they take almost... Like, they have a spell then. Yikes. It's efficient. Yeah, now we're flooding out. Play both out. Sammy is a problem. Emissaries play out way worse than I thought they would. Oh my god, that's so insane. So they get 2/2/2s now. One is untapped, one is tapped. Right? Okay, that's good. Okay, well now we're cooking. They'll just jump. Oh, they'll go for double block. Interesting. But yeah, it makes sense. They need to deal with the 1/1s first. Now we want all the mana still. Unless I get a Moxite, but I can do this. If I play an artifact, I can pump it for a lot of... Like, I need 4 mana here plus the pumps. Yeah. Hard to get them going and hard to survive on the ground sometimes. If you warp too much. Okay, so they gain 2 life. Yeah. Little breaking is their only out, or a mass removal. Mass removal deals with their board. Little breaking also deals with most of their board. Yeah, but we still have 2 cards here, right? We're ahead on cards. Because they lose their board as well if they have exile. Okay. Yeah, this is the danger. That's why I'm playing 16 lands. Like, you do flood out when you start cantripping, so It's really worse to play 17 lands, even though, yeah, the early game is gonna be rough sometimes. Life Puzzler, thank you for your prime. Can get there. We have cantripping here. But yeah, these early turns are always sketch because you need those 4 lands. You need to get to the 4 lands. But we can do Scrapper into Relic, into Sack the Relic. Not efficient again. Or we just draw lands. That would also work. I can on turn 2 play Emissary, but that's, I think we're asking for trouble then. I want to draw a card if I don't get a land. Okay. And I think often we'll just have to play Emissary out. We have ways to recur it. Just to have board presence to not... Because like going Relic on 2 is dangerous without having a creature. That's asking for trouble. Here I can go that and then next turn grow it. That's like to get that 1/1. This deck has so many sequencing decisions. It's crazy. But now next turn we can play it and grow that. So we kind of gain the 1/1. Still we're efficient and now we grow it and then we cook after that. This card is so insane. This is what we needed. And I didn't take it. But there was a Hive Pool. But maybe it was better than Hive Pool in this deck. Okay, interesting. Still bad. Like they'll add so much to the board if they have stuff. Next turn. We need to deal with that. That's the only way to... Yeah. We're done. Okay. 2 landers are not the worst. Could be worse. And now 2 mana. Now the discount doesn't count. But now we definitely don't deal with that. Now we need to save removal. If we get removal, we need to save it for Vocalist. No, that's a problem, but they're not quite there with the mana. They will be though, soon. Come on, 1 bolt. Torpedo. I mean, I guess we could even ignore it and start jamming. Yeah, next turn they cannot do anything here still. So... Yeah, let's just try to get there. Yeah, they need 2 turns to even like attempt something, right? First crack, then pay 8, and by that turn we will have a lot of flyers. Okay, that's really good. Okay, now all the triggers, so annoying. They don't get a land, they cannot use that. Okay, so that's good. We're only attacking in the air still. I think I like attacking with both now. Because 1 goes through. It's actually debatable, do I just do that? So they block this one here, but then they have to take 8. That's good. You can get it back still. And once the engineer is gone... Yeah, they take 8 here. So they're technically dead on board next turn. Huh. That's a choice. This is the hardest deck I played in this format, I think. I'm also not in the best, like, kinda mental state today to get through those sick decisions. They're just dead on board. Morrigan Eve, thank you. But yeah, like, plays out pretty alright. Close games though. I should be going up a land, it feels like. But I don't know. We flooded out the other game still. Yikes. Well, I can crew that on Gotta keep, and we can just draw, like, we can just cry into something good. I think we're really somewhat weak to aggro, but everything feels aggro in this format. It's so easy to curve out with even non-aggro decks. Okay. Soccer, because you cannot play it out. Europa is generating some value there. Not sure how good are we at racing even. We have mono value hand. I mean, they also generate a lot of value, but we're more about setting up and then hope the synergy gets there. I'm gonna block. I know there can be the blade, but fine. Well, fine. It's not fine, but still takes their turn away. Is this, but that's medium impact now. I guess we just throw that for. Too many clunky cards, it feels. Okay, that's really good. We'll go that. Get a second emissary and then cook next turn. Hopefully they play around counter spells here and do nothing. What are the odds? Well, let's sorta do nothing. I mean, we're not that worried about that sort of plan. It's emissary because half pool is too fragile. Where's this white? And this turn will be insane. No, it's a little bit worse of a turn. Fine. I'll probably just deal with that. Now that they cannot draw cards, and this goes away. We transcend value if we get a synergy together. Like, that's not really replicable in a limited game usually. What we can do here, obviously, that can be a mass removal or something weird that answers that, or a counter spell, but normie cards don't really do much if we have the time to execute our stuff. Is there a difference? This we can play with 4, 5, 6 with that. I don't want a land, so just keep it. Which one goes? Although no, this one goes. White mass removal deals with everything either way. We're so good at finding both as well, because we have, first of all, card draw, and then we have this card. You just need one, you probably get a second one then. Yeah, I mean, all the relics on the planet. As long as there's no mass removal. Well, that's interesting. So we want to save the Mechan Zoa for the Angel, because otherwise you cannot attack into it. That's a problematic card, actually. That's tempting, but I don't think I can. Yep, that's a lot of tokens. We're pretty low. Oh, I cannot play both because, yeah, this is red. Yeah, but I don't think it's about the Pingu here. Because we won't be able to... Because we need to go that, right? And then it's only one pump. And it's probably better to make a 1-1. Because Pingu can get just chumped. It is like a little bit about the race still. I'm gonna just do that. Bro. It's actually... Now we probably lose. This is interesting because it will tap that down 15 cards. Like we can keep the Angel tapped for a while. Five, they cannot do both. Well, if we deal with the Angel, but we need to kind of deal with it fast because otherwise it gets some value. Okay. Yeah, we want the double stun. If we didn't get removal here, we would want the double stun, yeah. I think so. It's a bit awkward because they still have a lot. Yikes. Cannot beat the boosters now. What a scam. I think boosters is unbeatable here. Raise. It's gonna be hard to raise. They have too many ground blockers. It's incredible how bad Hive... In this situation, Hive Pool also doesn't get us. It's incredible how, like, medium of a card Hive Pool is, actually. Well, to be fair, they needed... In this game, they needed a rat. Otherwise, there was no game for them, but they had it. Crazy. We're 2-2. Have some stuff to do and we can cantrip here, but it would be neat to just get lands and then we can like that. Okay. So I wanna pump this shield mate. No, the pangolin next turn. Land. Okay. I had really good decks with Hive. I mean, I had really good success with Hive Pool, so I'm just kind of automatically assuming it's a good card, but it's this format is weird sometimes. Some decks just don't want some things, and then it's hard to determine when and why to play a card. Oh, I didn't expect they would jump. I would have probably thrown it. Okay, okay. That's fine. They're just dead here. Well, one way or the other. Apparently every deck just wants to be a curve out deck in limited. It's so much simpler when you get a mana curve. Technically I should wait, but I probably also shouldn't because we have only one red, so I should probably play this out. If we had double red, I would wait, but yeah. Okay. Gotta run it out. Cannot doubles. I mean, I can, but it's bad. I could have sacked one of the lands, but we also need fourth land, so even that is bad. I'll just pass. They're also mana screwed, but they have way more cards than we do. But lands don't count for void. Do that. You can extern sack it and then deal with something. I can bounce the token then, but that's a 2-for-1 still. Now it's tapped. I do like this sack a lot, but maybe it's just... I can bounce attack, but I can also make this. We have double damage here. I think we're going for the aggro plan. Double 3 damage. Blaster, I don't know. It's not the greatest value because we don't have anything to discard and we can always sacrifice with Scrapper. Yikes. Well, that's not that bad actually. That's pretty good. We deal 1 less damage though. Maybe I want that. If we could double spell here, that would be so good. Like anything, even throwing these phase or whatever. That's fine, that comes stabs. That's actually really good for us. Unless there's some life gain or something weird happening. Okay, full control. Let's see what's coming down first. Okay, that's super fine. Win? Funny is we're supposed to be like some sort of a combo control whatever deck, and we're the only games we're winning is curving out. They're just limited in a nutshell. If you don't curve out, you're not winning. Tempo just transfers into so many positive things. Like tempo is usually value because you have to engage into bad removal traits or bad blocks if you're behind. Yeah, another thing. Yeah, you cannot really set up. You cannot go for the most value if you are under pressure, right? You always have to play. For instance, like Pangolin would also transfer into value if it stays in play for longer. But if you're behind, you have to block with it. You lose it. Value is gone. It's abstract, but it's also like kind of makes sense. And it's not always like you need to attack, but you just need to be ahead on board, and you're gonna benefit from that. So even control decks want to be cheap all the time. Like everything wants to have like mono 2 and 3 drops, and even cheaper. Like in this format is specific because I think 1 drops are really, really important, but you need to figure out which 1 drop fits your deck. For instance, Scrapper is really good in this deck, but it would be maybe medium and another shell or whatever. Kind of default ones are Focus Fire, Cryo Shatter, Bolt you can play. Bolt has also this condition. Sometimes it's really good, like in decks like our, where we can trigger 3 damage, but sometimes you cannot and it's medium. I'm gonna keep another like awkward too many non-cards. But we can redraw, we can play a defender. This would be so much better if it in this deck if it just would never be able to attack and it was a 3/3. Okay, but we have a plan. I think it's a Scrapper now that Mechanzoa just turns it on. But what do we want? Definitely want a land. It's awkward that it's not a blue source. It's hard to mull again land away here because we just need to get a... If I was a blue, I would keep both actually, but I think we need to get to a blue source, otherwise this hand is pretty taxing on blue mana. But one I want because we need 6 of any lands. What a weird scenario, because if they cannot double spell, I think it's better to, but this is more efficient mana-wise. But if they cannot double spell, it doesn't matter if they play removal, draw a card, that's not devastating. But if they double spell, draw a card, that is devastating. I feel like that this would be better later on when they can double spell, but the removal, I guess removal is really not a big deal. Like they lose tempo, they draw a card, fine. Like we have plenty of card advantage. The issue is if they draw a card and add to the board 2 thingies, then we're completely cooked. If we go for this play. It is. I mean, that's kind of true for every limited set once. Once basically people start building focus decks, because then any deck can curve out. Like, see, we are a control deck, but we curve out because the cards are just efficient. I think here I'm just tapping it down. It's safe. Well, let's see what we draw. Well, what if I ignore... I should maybe ignore the card advantage for now. Pretty complicated game. It just feels like we need to set up for a board where we... And this doesn't deal damage. Well, this would deal damage then. So then tapping that down makes more sense. And we can always go for that kill next turn. Yeah, and it feels like they're just having the cards either way. So now it's about, do they have something in the deck that deals with that? Otherwise, this is like... If we're ahead and playing that, that's pretty good. Okay, so they cannot double spell, so we got rewarded there. We got rewarded. It would be so good to get something to play, but I can always play that attack, and that's 5 damage already. I don't like the idea. Maybe just like without, maybe like my Hive Pool might not be needed in this hand, because we just go that, and that's another 5 damage. And if they play removal, we have this. Yeah, but I feel like it doesn't matter if they draw cards with that. Like usually, like in my experience, like this is a little bit on intuition, but if we are ignoring this card, you're gonna win on tempo. Because they have to go out of the way to connect often. So I think this card is just bad in this format either way, because it's too hard to determine when that attack is actually gonna be important. Gives you you have to go too out of the way. I don't like the trait. I do like this, but I also like that. But if we lose it, it's so bad. I know we can get it back, but then they can start playing tempo. It's a good turn to drop it if they don't have anything. I think I'll drop it. But blue-white tempo often play an inefficient creature to just draw cards, and it feels like we never run out of cards in blue decks. Man, I swear this card sucks. It's too risky. No, I haven't played Yargle. Yeah, now they just flip and we can never get it back and play it. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. This goes here. 10. Yeah, I think that was it was a mistake to play this card in this deck. It's just not a deck for it. It's too risky. I mean, maybe we still get there, but what do we need to do? Like, okay, I would need to bounce and that and step, right? I don't know. Maybe it was a good turn to get the emissary either way. I don't know what I want back though. No, I don't think this is the correct play. Our hand is too expensive, and if we get emissary, we will do that. Okay, now we might want the removal. That's a good creature to bounce though. And then I will bounce that. Try to put them in a spot where they'll kind of forced to lose stuff. So we have enough time to either set this up or get something else. This literally translated into value, right? Because it's either like 5 damage, which is half their life total, or minus a creature on board. If another scared. I think that's safer. Because we likely draw something good. Well, that's pretty good. Oh, so many decisions. I can get this still back, but again, I'm not sure. Because that gives me Torpedo and I can play it this turn. Which is so much more efficient for next turn. And Torpedo pumps that and deals with that, so they cannot play that. There is an efficiency issue because I don't play Torpedo this turn. Well, okay. Good to know. Might get a 2-2 though. Oh, yikes. Card is technically fine if they don't get anything tempo efficient. Six. How many bolts? I have all the bolts in the deck. I could just try to find 2 bolts that wins straight up. But this gives me a guarantee kill for that. Which is also interesting. I have a plunge. I can get Torpedo plunge. But I need 2 bolts otherwise. 8 cards out of 19. Man, Torpedo is so good though. Wait. Oh my god. I need time. I need to hurry. Okay. I'm gonna wake up. No, they have a counter then. I'll remove. This is end step, that's fine. Well, they gain life. Okay, that's not fine, but okay. Where are you? Torpedo. Now I want the big card. I think I want them and I want to find... I'll take... Huh. I want them in the deck. Yeah, I thought our plan was just finding both bolts. They needed a specific card there. That's why I didn't like this, because it's inefficient. I mean, it's still inefficient, so it's maybe still better, but we might run out of ways to win. We have Emissary still. Yeah, that's a lot of lagging. Okay, so I need to go here first. I guess it's both. Eight. Maybe I need to gain life. I have now some blockers. No, these can block. We can take 5. But we don't have an answer for a 5-7. And now it's hard to win because they're on 13. But yeah, if they were on lower life, as it showed, our plan was just to find the bolts with Consult. And we would go through the deck eventually. That was the plan. Wish I had another torpedo. That would help us a lot. 11 cards. If this could block the 5-7, that would be so good. Bro, some of these decks have insane rares. Now I see how green functions. Bro, what is that? Yikes. Okay, but this we can block. It's not a big problem. There's a combination of things now happening where we cannot get a hat. This doesn't trigger stuff. Do I need to deal with that? Probably. But how do we get them? I need to block the 5-7. And the token is tapped. I guess we don't technically need to block that. So I gotta deal with this. Well, recently I am, since I top 8 at Arena Championship. I didn't for quite a while. So I'm playing the next PT. We have quite some power on the board though. What is that deck? Why are they playing so many of these? It's not like an obvious great card, but it works well versus us here. But it was really discarded everything there, even if it kinda was medium. Considering how good the card can be. Okay, wait. One card. Actually not in the worst spot if they have nothing. Yeah, but it's not always like, and even at 4 mana 5-7 is really vanilla. Yeah, it's good if it would be consistently that, but it's not really always that. Wait, these are now new. I could go for the blocks even, bro. So if I attack everything, they block one of the 3/3s. 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, too short. So this has to chump. This has to chump. This has to chump. I just have to pass. I mean, they tap something down. It's little in paper, yeah. They tap something down with the attack, so that's kind of doesn't like it removes a blocker. Two off. And then good question is, are we going for little this turn? They only have that. They block one. We have to then do this at least, but I'm thinking like at this point I might do that, but we do get more creatures. 3, 3. So if we do this, 6, 1, they block 1, 5, 6, 7, it's not lethal, right? Man, this is insane. I can't. We were so close each turn. They block 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Three cards. Maybe they don't have anything in the deck. I doubt it because they played all the lands out. Right now they saw the whole deck, so most of it at least. Do I need a draw? Do I need a draw over 1, 2, 3? So they block this 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be one more damage over that. Bro. We were one short if I did the other block, but one short is still one short. There is no, I mean, I don't think we can get anything. No, it's over. It is over. Crazy game. I think Hive Pool was just bad in this deck. I should probably not play it. Because this game we win if I don't run it out into... It's just such a liability. Like, this was more effective as an expensive card if I wanted it. Whale, maybe. But it's so hard to say that it would be bad, but it makes sense why it's bad and why it was bad. You couldn't set up. You just couldn't set up. There was too much time to do it. Like, too much stuff to do with the mana as well. If I did anything else that turn, we win the game because the tempo would be enough. Cannot win them all. I think this deck was super fun to play. I'll take 4 wins. I expected more because 2 emissaries and all the synergy on the planet.